Good afternoon and welcome to MastermindTraders.com, Mastering the Markets, Your Path to Financial Freedom. My name is Eric Frady and I want to welcome you here today. I want to thank you so much for your time. Now, no matter where you're joining us from, here in the United States, North America, wherever you may be throughout the world, I want to thank you for your time in joining us here today. Now, what I also want to talk about is maybe who invited you here, whether it's through a joint venture that we may have, maybe it's through one of our affiliates, one of our students who have had great success using our program here, or you've heard about us on social media. Whatever the medium, I certainly am glad that you've taken the time to learn a little bit about us here today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let me tell you a little bit about me and why I started Mastermind Traders. I want you to just think about the name for a second, Mastermind Traders. You know, it's the old concept of Napoleon Hill, more minds are greater than just one. And the more minds you get together looking over and thinking about the same topic, well, the further along everybody can be. So that's what I sort of wanted to create when creating this trading company. I've got years of experience, and you're going to hear about this today. I've got years of experience of trading the stock market, lots of great success, but through the gentleman that I'm going to introduce you on this webinar here today, and I'm very, very excited to do that, we've got a little over 30 years experience, combined experience in the market. Now, I found Mastermind Traders because I saw that there were a lot of great stock market education companies out there, but I thought to myself, you know, I think we can do it just a little bit better. I didn't really like the idea of getting people in a hotel and having them fly, and there's nothing wrong with that, but getting people maybe in a conference center and learning for a couple of days, great information, mind you, but whenever you leave, you don't really know what questions to ask, and you just feel a little intimidated. So I wanted to create a real support system, a real mastermind group, if you will, to help with your trading education. Because I learned a long time ago that trading is not an individual sport. It is a team effort. So we've created a team to help you here. I'm a husband and a father of 3 beautiful little daddy's girls that I absolutely love to spend time with. And I have a passion to teach people how to trade and to be able to take back control of their lives. So I want to welcome you here today and thank you so much for your time. Now, I want to honor your time. It's the only commodity that we can't buy back. What you're going to learn here today is an opportunity and a methodology. The bottom line is this: the stock or the market, it can only do one of 3 things. It can go up, it can go down, or it can kind of go sideways. We've had some news here in back in 2016. We didn't really know what the market would do. News came out and we saw what the market did. My question to you is did you take advantage of that opportunity? And if you did, were you able to lock in those winnings? So if you have a 401k, you have a retirement account, you like to trade, you want to make sure that your hard-earned money is going to be there one day, no matter what, whether the stock goes up, goes down, or sideways. What we're going to show you here today is an opportunity to not only make money, but also keep it and control your own financial destiny. So that's what's next. Take great notes, and that's our promise to you here today. And I'm very, very excited about that. And, you know, if you do have any questions, we'll get to them at the end. So just make sure there's a questions box there. You can type in your questions, or if you're watching this recorded version of it, then please send us an email to support@mastermindtraders.com. You might want to write that down, support@mastermindtraders.com, if you have any questions whatsoever. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine. Carl, are you there, buddy?
Eric, I am here, ready to go.
Man, we started trading the stock market at about the same time, and I guarantee you we've got some people that are on this webinar that are thinking, you know, I've been trading for 20 years. What can they teach me? And we probably have people on here that don't. They're excited, but they're a little bit nervous. And there's some people on here that's been trading for a little while and know maybe a little bit just to be dangerous. But I know when I first got started, I was excited and scared at the same time. And boy, we've learned our bumps and bruises along the way. And I think what we figured out in the years and years and years that we've been doing this, and literally the thousands of people that we've taught, I think that we've figured out a pretty good methodology to make money consistently in the stock market. What do you think?
Well, that's absolutely true. We have a fantastic program, a great pathway to financial success. And a little bit later on, we're going to introduce another professional trader, an expert in teaching trading as well. So we've got a lot to offer.
Well, let's get started here. Why don't we?
Why don't we do that, Eric? You guys, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be teaching how to trade stocks. You can even learn how to invest in stocks, but we're going to concentrate on trading stocks. Now, a lot of stock companies that do similar things are in what's called a sector. And there are actually companies that do the same thing, but they have a little bit of a different tweak to what they do, and that's called a subsector. But not only can we trade stocks, invest in stocks, but we can also trade indexes. Well, what the heck is an index? Well, let's say if I make myself a little basket here. Make myself a little basket, and I'm going to throw a bunch of little stocks into my basket. I might throw Apple in here, and what I'm drawing out here, these are ticker symbols. They're little symbols of a representation of a company like IBM, so Facebook. So I can take all these different stocks and I can throw them into this basket, and I have an index. Now, some of the indexes, the larger broad-based indexes, are something you're already familiar with. Anybody hear of the Dow Jones Industrial Average? Yeah, every day on the news you hear how the Dow did. Well, this is a major index, a broad-based index. Well, another one is the S&P 500. How many stocks do you think is in the basket of this index? Yeah, right around 500. We've all heard of the NASDAQ, and some other ones that some people are not familiar with but are very large indexes are Russell indexes, and there are several of them. One of the big ones is the Russell 2000. Now, it's interesting. Well, why would I be interested in an index? Well, a lot of you probably have these indexes or these baskets, but in your basket, in your 401k, it's probably called a mutual fund. It's kind of a basket of stocks. Now, we can trade stocks individually. We can trade the basket of stocks if we so wish. And there are many more than the baskets than what I'm showing here. This is just an example. But we can also trade what's called an exchange traded fund. You see these advertised on TV all the time. Learn how to trade exchange traded funds. Well, what the heck is an exchange traded fund? You'll see it abbreviated as ETFs. But basically what ETFs are is they're smaller baskets, or baskets that track the bigger baskets. So in other words, if I want to trade the S&P 500, I say, wow, the S&P 500 is trading at $2,271 right now as I speak. That's pretty expensive. Maybe I don't want to trade that high of a cost of an index. So what I can do is I can trade something that tracks it, which would be the spiders. And it trades at approximately 1/10 of the value. Well, perhaps instead of trading the Dow, which you don't really do, then what we can do is trade its ETF, the diamonds, which trades at approximately 1/100th of what the Dow is trading at. So that's what the exchange traded funds are. They're smaller baskets. They can trade or track, follow some of the larger based indexes. So we have a lot to choose from. Well, when you go to your financial advisor, they're going to set you up with a 401k, maybe some mutual funds, maybe some IRAs. Well, I want you to think about something. You are letting somebody else control your money. Do you think they're making any money on your money? Yeah, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it. Well, do you think they're making somewhere quite a bit up and above of what you are actually receiving? Well, yes, absolutely. You guys, you're being hijacked by Wall Street. How would you like to be in business, having a business partner? Your business partner takes home all the profit or the majority of the profit while you get to take all the risk. Well, that's what's happening when you turn your money over to a financial advisor. Did you know that Wall Street trades on your investments? They make the major money on them no matter how they perform for you. In other words, you can watch your portfolio go down, but their portfolio is going up. Now what's happened? You started with a larger amount of money, and now you've got a little bit down here. Well, they started with this down here, and as your account's going down, theirs is going up. So they're making money on your money no matter how your account is performing. Boy, that should kind of irritate you a little bit. Well, they do trade the ups and downs no matter what your investments are doing. You take all that risk. You know, it's time to take back control. You control your money. Okay, don't give your money away. How do you do that? Take control of your economy, your personal economy. Let's make money on your money. You make money on your money. Did you actually know that what money you have invested within your financial broker, that they can actually take that stock, take your ownership, and rent it out to somebody like me? They don't actually rent it out to me. They borrow it to me. They lend it to me. I take that and I'm making money on your stock. I don't care if your stock is going down or not. If it's going up, it's going down, I'm going to be making money on your money. Once I'm done with it, I'll give it back to the broker. Did you get any of that? Nope. Can we teach you how to do that? Absolutely. And let's do so with minimal risk and minimal upfront money. So let's start with some of the basics, you guys. Stocks, and we're going to show you a good example. Stocks often, and sometime in their lifetime, they trade in a sideways pattern. Did you hear Eric state that, hey, the market can trade up, it can trade down, it can even go sideways? Yeah, straight sideways, kind of in a range, as you can see drawn out here. Well, what you will learn how to do is to recognize these patterns. These patterns give us some predictability through repetitive movement. So they repeat their pattern and we can predict off the pattern. Now, wouldn't that be kind of cool to be able to have some type of predictability of what a stock is doing? So let's say we find a stock that is trading between two price points. Let's say one of the price points is $2. That is called support. In other words, this is where traders support that $2 price point and are willing to buy. And if they are willing to buy, that causes the market or this particular stock to rise by simple laws of supply and demand. And then other traders see that happening and they jump in. And this continues to happen. Well, then it gets to another price point, which is called resistance, where traders resist buying and they start to sell their positions off, sending the market back down. Well, as it comes back down, it gets to this level where, hey, I supported that price of $2 before, I'll do it again. And they buy again, sending the price right back up. Well, this pattern starts to develop. When this pattern develops, we recognize that pattern and we can now predict what's probably going to happen next. Isn't that kind of cool? Now, this line that you see is a line chart, but it's actually broken down into a daily performance. And that daily performance is what you see with these little bodies right here. This is a body where the open is on top, that red body where the open is on top. In other words, here is where this particular stock opened today at whatever price point that is. We'll say it's $130. And it just happened to have traded down today, traded all the way down to about $122. That's an $8 drop. That's just for that day. Well, the next day, it was a green body. That traded up that day. Now, I'm not going to break all of this down and exactly what they mean at this point, but the red bodies mean that it traded down that day. The green bodies show that it traded up that day. Well, here is my recognizable pattern. So once I recognize a pattern and I see something where I can jump in and buy, whoa, I just made a $10 movement there. This happens to be $116. I know that's hard to see, and this is $106 down here. It's a $10 range. So I can see, hey, I'm going to jump in, I'm going to make 10 bucks here. And guess what? Oh, it only went halfway down, so I only made $5. It went back up. It went back up. Oh, it went all the way down. I made another $10. Went back up. Oh, I made another $10. How would you like to be able to do that? By only recognizing the pattern. And then you have that ability to have some degree of accuracy in the prediction. Matter of fact, this is a really good point for me to introduce to you a friend of Eric's of mine. Met him about 10 years ago. The guy is fantastic. I've learned quite a bit from him. His name is Bill. Bill, why don't you come in and show these people what you did with a similar pattern?
Well, hey guys, I appreciate the opportunity to come in and spend a little bit of time with you guys. I love this trading style because it really is nothing more than pattern recognition. And the longer the pattern goes on, the more of a self-fulfilling prophecy it becomes. This is a stock that many of you have maybe heard about if you've ever been to Las Vegas or Macau. Wynn Casinos is the stock that we traded here. And you can see that it does in fact fit into this pattern. I mean, it's been a phenomenal trading opportunity, going from about $88 to $104, back down to $88, back up to $104, and has done it literally for months on end. We actually have been trading this in a group that I trade with every single day, and we've been working on this one. And I'll tell you, a lot of times traders want to get complicated. They want to make things more difficult than they need to be. The beauty of these channeling stocks is that it is fairly easy to recognize the pattern once you see it, once you've been trained to identify those areas of support and resistance. So we've actually been trading this one. And just so that you guys know, with the trading style that we use, a stock moving from $88 to $104, that could give you, well, let's just do the math here. You're talking about a stock that is moving, about $16 from the bottom to the top. Now, I'm not going to tell you that we catch every penny of that move from the bottom of the top. What if you only caught $14 of that move or $12 of that move? You know, that translates into, on 1,000 shares, a $12, $14, or $16,000 profit, and this stock does it about once a month. Now, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but how many of you guys would be in a very different place financially if you were making an extra $12,000 a month? For some of you, that means a new car or possibly even a new zip code. And yeah, great. I mean, this is good stuff. And guys, the reality is that this does happen. This happens every day in the market. These opportunities present themselves every day in the market. They have for years. As Carl said, as Eric said, we've known each other for the better part of a decade, and over that decade we have watched literally hundreds of stocks do this for months on end, and you've been missing out. You've been missing out, for example, on just this one stock, on the opportunity to make somewhere around $12,000 a month on 1,000 shares, month after month after month, just because you didn't know about it. See, sometimes it's not about how much the education or information costs to learn it. It's about how much it costs not to know it. Very powerful. And here's one of the cool things about this. We actually played this on the way up, and the stock went up, and we made a huge profit on this starting in December. And then we got out as the stock hit the upper resistance area, and it started coming back down, so we started watching it. Well, guys, guess what happened? In fact, Carl, if you don't mind, let's play this chart forward a little bit, or let's go ahead and show them a current version of it. Let's do that. Let's show them exactly where it is now. So y'all can see that this is actually happening right now as we speak.
Okay.
This stock came all the way down to a support level, and look at this right here. Actually came right down to support and bounced and gave us a great entry, and look at what's going on. It's going back up. Now let me just ask you, if you knew that you knew that you knew that every time this stock is at $88 a share, it starts to move up towards 104, what would you do? Would you buy in? Would you buy the stock or in some other way invest in some asset related to this stock that would give you an appreciation as the stock is moving up? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you we got in when that stock was bouncing at around $88 a share, and it's up significantly. It's trading at $94 here on this chart. That's a huge move. You missed it again. Y'all need to learn this stuff. This could change your life. Let me do this. Let's do this. Let's go back in, and I know you guys have been hearing a little bit from us about this, and you might be excited about it. But some of you might be thinking, "Oh my God!" But Bill, this is a $88 stock, and you're talking about 1,000 shares. That's an $88,000 investment, and for some of you, that might not be a problem. And if it's not, awesome. But I want you to pay attention anyway. For those of you that might be saying, I don't have $88,000, how many of you would just love to learn how to trade this the way we did? With a leveraged asset vehicle that allowed us to trade this $88 stock for literally pennies on the dollar. What if you could have gotten in there for $2 or $3 a share? How many of you think maybe you could find a way, once you've learned the skills, to come up with a couple $1,000s to invest in this stock as it moves from $88 to $104. Anybody interested in doing that? Well, let me turn it back over to Carl and have him talk to you a little bit about a vehicle that we use to create that leverage.
Thank you, Bill. And you hold on, sir, because we're bringing you right back in real soon. You guys, what Bill's talking about is the stock was trading at $94 presently right now. Well, that asset vehicle he was mentioning are something called options. It is that leveraging tool that allows you to trade a larger price stock for pennies on the dollar. Now this is what's called an option chain. Please don't get intimidated by all these numbers. These are simply separated into different columns, and they're very easy to learn what they mean. So don't get concerned about that. But these are options, and their prices allow you to leverage a larger price stock. Like Bill said, holy moly, I can take that $94 stock and trade it for $2-3, get this basically the same results. Well, all right, so now that we know that, let's go through some examples. Let's say, for instance, I see a stock and I'm looking, I recognize a pattern. You remember all these little boxes here, the green days up, the red days down. Well, what if I make a decision? This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the stock is going up. Well, why don't we get some assistance by a consultant? Wouldn't it be nice to determine what we feel the stock may do and then go to a consulting firm and say, well, what do you think? Well, this consulting firm is something what we call indicators. Indicators are technical tools mathematically calculated based upon the historical activity of the stock and the present activity of the stock to help determine what that stock is doing and may do. So these are called indicators. One of them is called a Bollinger Band, the other one's called an RSI. There's quite a few of them. Myself, I only use a handful, some of the major ones that are more popular, that are very accurate. But these indicators are consultants. We can make a decision on just the chart itself, then we can say, hey, Mr. Consultant, what do you feel? Do you agree with me? And the indicator, once you learn how to understand them, say, yeah, you know what, Carl, I do agree with you. So if you go look at 2 or 3 different consultants and they all agree with you, wow, you got a lot more insurance, a lot more confidence in actually taking on that trade. So this is an example that we are not going to just let you go. teach you a couple things and let you go. You're going to learn other things to help you make your decisions in trading, and they are called indicators. Now, once you learn a strategy, not only do we want to teach you the strategy, give you the indicators, but we want to give you a set of rules to follow for that particular strategy. Now, in this particular strategy, it's called a weekly long strangle. I'm not going to define exactly what that means, but here's a set of rules. Rules 1, rules 2, rules 3, through 4, all the way through 10. You follow each single step to follow all the rules, and what do you think that will help you with as far as your success is concerned? You guys, that weekly long strangle is only one of several strategies. One of the strategies is called covered calls. That's where actually I can borrow your stock from your broker, and I'm going to go make money on it because I'm going to rent your stock out. I'm going to take that money and not share it with you. You need to learn how to do that. You're going to learn how to recognize chart patterns. There's channeling stocks is a strategy we just talked about. Other strategies called vertical spreads. They're broken down to bull put spreads, bear call spreads, collars. We're going to learn fundamental analysis, technical analysis. Matter of fact, that's where the indicators fall under, is the technical analysis. You're going to learn practical analysis. You heard Eric talk about news. That's where news falls under, as well as the price activity itself. Oh, selling naked puts. Well, that doesn't mean you're going to sell puts naked, as Eric would say, but you are going to learn a strategy called naked puts. There's the weekly long strangle. There's a way to trade a company's earnings. You guys, companies report their earnings 4 times a year, and they are so gracious enough to tell us when they're going to announce their earnings and what time of the day they're going to announce them. We can use that information to make money. And then, here's something Bill is fantastic at, is managing your risk. Because when you do trade, you do have a risk at hand. But boy, I tell you, one of the things to learn is, one of the major things to learn is how to manage your risk. Bill, what do you think about that?
Carl, I can't say enough about risk management. Guys, this is the one tool that was not taught to all three of us when we first started out. And I wish it had been, because not understanding how to manage and mitigate risk is what gets new traders in trouble. We can teach you the strategies, we can teach you the techniques, we can teach you the mindset, but if you don't manage the risk, you eventually will run into problems. So it's a critical part of the educational process. In fact, there's a series of steps to trading successfully. There's a process to this. If you do the right things the right way, you will get the right results, but you have to do the right things. Risk management is just one component of that. So let's do this. Let's jump into kind of those steps to trading successfully. And one of those is, of course, risk management. And that
Bill,
comes in.
can I do something, sir?
Absolutely.
Can I do something? As you're talking about risk management, I want to show them something that using risk management, all these greens are gains. They're all green except for 2 of these. And this is due to risk management. Because of risk management, I lost 41 bucks here. And here's another one where I lost 198, but because of the risk management, I was able to keep these losses very small in comparison to larger gains. You guys, this is from end of September, basically October 1 through present date. Today's the 11th. And that's just through managing risk. You guys, and I tell you what, that's just very little trading as well. But I did want to show them how important risk management is, and how we can limit our losses through the risk management. All right, Bill, here's the steps you wanted to talk about.
That's an awesome example of risk management, guys. That's exactly what I'm talking about. By keeping your losses small and letting your winners run is the recipe for success that has been followed in the stock market for literally more than a century. If you are going to be successful in the market, you need to do what other people have done to be successful. You have to get an educational foundation. Trading in the stock market is different than any other pursuit of success that you will have. If you are a business person, good for you, congratulations. It does not mean that you know how to trade the stock market. If you're a doctor, a lawyer, if you are a car mechanic, whatever it is that you're educated in, congratulations. But to be successful in the market, you need to get an educational foundation in trading in the market. You need to create a trading plan. You've got to have a plan, like a business plan, but designed for trading. We can help you do that. What about setting up a trading account? Who am I going to set it up with? There's so many brokers out there. There's so many pluses and minuses, and who am I going to go with? We will walk you through that process and help you make the best decision for the kind of trading and investing that you are going to do. Critical to your success is practice. And by practice, what I mean is going in and practicing real trades in real time with fake money. You cannot lose money if you are practicing with fake money, what we call unfunded trading. You've got to have a broker that will allow you to set up an unfunded trading account to practice in, and then get the continuing education with real applications. In other words, you need to have somebody there that's going to take you under their wing and guide you through the process. Step here, don't step there. Go here, don't do there. Whatever it is that they're going to guide you through, you need that mentor to take you along that continuing education and that real-world application to what we are doing in the markets. It all starts with the education, and there are a lot of ways for you to get that education. Years ago, Eric launched Mastermind Traders as a way to bring that education to the masses, and I really love what he's done because he's taken what was a model for years in the industry and he has improved upon it. In fact, let me do this. Let me turn it over to Eric and have him kind of walk you through how the workshops and seminars on trading evolved so that they work for you. Eric, you want to tell them about it?
First of all, thank you so much, Bill. I just want to pause here for a second. Carl, Bill, I want to thank you for your friendship over the years. You know, we've known each other for a long time. We have literally traveled. Boy, I'll tell you what, they've got some stories they can tell on me and vice versa. And that's what friendship's about. And I want to thank you so much for the many, many years of friendship that both of you have provided, and you know, companionship, and just you know, being able to look over each other's shoulders and have each other's back, and being able to build you know, trading partnerships, and really to be able to help one another. Because again, I said this earlier, I really do believe that it is a team effort. I really do. And I've had losing trades. You know, I know that there's been probably countless times where Bill and Carl have been on the phone and they've, you know, analyzed each other's trades, and this is what I'm doing, and this is, you know, this is where I had sort of a pitfall here, and this is where I sort of, you know, messed up here, or boy, look at this game here, and this is what I figured out here, and just tweaking just some of the information that we've learned over the years. You know, what we want to do is keep you from avoiding some of the costly mistakes that people can make, and one of those mistakes is doing absolutely nothing. Really. Trusting someone else with your money so that they can make off with it, and that's really the whole Bernie Madoff deal. Now, there's seminars on trading, and they're great out there. They cost you thousands in tuition and have software and hidden fees and all that, and we don't believe that here. Maybe you can't ask questions, or whenever you leave, you remember the questions that you didn't even know you had whenever you were at the seminar, or you have to travel and there's hotel costs, and you know, you have to buy your own meals or whatever they may be with those seminars. But that's it right there. Oftentimes there's no feedback or mentorship. There's no real accountability. So what happens is oftentimes people end up losing hope. Well, moving forward here, let's just, you ever went out there and you were really, really excited about it? I mean, this is the first of the year. There's a lot, I mean, gyms are packed right now, and New Year's resolutions, and you're really, really excited, and you're going to do this, and you're going to conquer this, and you just end up losing the steam, losing the focus. Well, a lot of people feel intimidated, and they never even start. Or they worse than that, they go out there and they start, and they learn more, and they think they know enough just to be dangerous, and they go out there and they make a huge mistake. Maybe you need a little bit of accountability. Tell you, yes, you can do this, one step at a time. But the thing is so many people out there in the market or other ventures, they lose money and they get discouraged. And I saw that in this industry, and I wanted to do something about it. I do not think that you can learn what you need to know about the stock market in a weekend. I don't think you can. I think you need time. I think you need to understand this concept. You heard Bill talk about risk management. I think you need to understand that concept, risk management. You heard Bill talk about pattern recognition. You learned that before kindergarten. You learn it in preschool. Remember the little balls where you put the star where the star goes? And I'm not trying to be funny, but it's pattern recognition. We're going to teach you patterns. Once you learn those patterns, don't risk too much. Paper cuts are okay. You saw some of those paper cuts. The truth is, can you handle the truth? You can make a lot of money in the market. That's the truth. What I want to introduce to you is the Mastermind Traders program. And here it is. It is a 3-month mentorship program. Now, what you might want to do, let's back up just for a second. Back up for a second if you would. Is go ahead and go to mastermindtraders.com right now. You can still hear me talk, but go ahead and take a look at mastermindtraders.com right now. There's a programs tab up there, and you might see MMT program. Start taking a look at that, but listen to what I have to say and come on back. Now that you see mastermindtraders.com, come on back. So Mastering the Markets program, 3-month mentorship program. Click right on through here. Let's talk about this. When is it? It's coming up right here in February, February the 7th, 2017. It is a Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every single Tuesday night over the next 90 days. You know, bar weather or, you know, something happened. Where is it? It's online. So you can do this at your house. You can do this at Starbucks. You can do this wherever you are. You see, we wanted to bring the education to you so you don't have to get the hotels. You don't have to get the flights. You don't have to do all that. Let's take all that money and let's put that in a brokerage account. Let's start there. Program includes, what does it include? Here we go. Video modules. Now let's just stop there for a second. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let me talk about this a little bit at a time. Whenever you enroll here today, what you're going to get is you're going to get a username and a password to be able to go to mastermindtraders.com and to be able to log in. That's where you're going to get the first several weeks of video modules. Week 1, we're going to go over basics. I don't know if you noticed, but Carl started with stocks, and he started with sectors, and you probably thought to yourself, where's he going with sectors, because I don't even know what a stock is. Don't worry about that. We're going to go all the way back to the very beginning in module number 1. Why is a stock called a stock? Why is Wall Street called Wall Street? Who is Charles Dow? What is a stock? If you're advanced, you can sort of fast forward through that, because I guarantee you there's going to be little gems in there for you to be able to pick up. So you'll watch the video, you'll download the manual so you can take notes as you watch the video. Then starting February the 7th, 2017, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's when we're going to go over week 1 through a live weekly mentoring session to make sure that you get it. Ask questions about week 1. This is Mastermind Traders. We're bringing a mastermind group together, 30 years of experience for you to be able to ask questions. Whenever we get to the week of charting, you can call out stocks for us to chart right there live. Chart it before we chart it to see how well you were able to do, and then make those adjustments. We have a closed Facebook group. This is offered for support. This is a closed group that you'll get invited into. You're going to have hundreds of people that are going to be welcoming you. We literally have thousands of traders all throughout the world. Again, it's called Mastermind Traders. You're going to have losing trades. So you post that in the Facebook group. This is what happened. How could I have done something different? You're going to have a lot of winning trades. Post that in there for others to be able to look at. You're going to have questions. How do I set up my indicators? What did Carl say about, the indicators on week 3? And what did Bill say about, risk management, and what did he say about this hedging strategy, and what did Marquet say about charting? And so we have different opportunities there. But the closed Facebook support group is huge to be able to have that accountability. Moving forward here, the program also includes archive mentoring sessions. So if you can't make it to a live weekly session, don't worry about it. We will archive it so you can watch it at your leisure. We've thought of everything when it comes to the market. You got questions? Send us an email, support@mastermindtraders.com. You have more questions? That's okay. Put it in the closed Facebook group. We'll get those questions answered. What I also did is we have a Facebook group for Mastermind Traders, but I also have an Atlanta Facebook group. I also have a Dallas Facebook group. I also have a Houston Facebook group, San Antonio. I have a LA. I have a New York. I have a Boston. I have a Chicago. I have a Japan. I have a Germany. I have Europe. I have all over the world. We have closed Facebook groups, not only for the large over-encompassing mastermind traders, but for your area, so the people that are in Charlotte, North Carolina, or maybe they're in Richmond, Virginia, or maybe they're in Baltimore, Maryland, and they want to get together. Well, you go to the Baltimore Facebook group, you post, let's meet at Starbucks, and you guys go meet at Starbucks and mentorship together. That's what this is all about. That's right, weekend cookouts. We have vegetarian food, we have non-vegetarian food, whatever you like. We have those weekend cookouts. We want to get people together. It's a lot of fun, and small personalized classes, and I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But it is a step-by-step system, and it is guaranteed. I can assure you of that. Let's keep moving here. The value of something like that, to be able to really, 30 years of experience. Let's talk about this. 30 years of experience. 90 days of mentorship, to be able to work with us, every single week live. The support, that's worth well more than $10,000. I can tell you that right now. But moving forward on here, let's keep on going. Let's look at some testimonials at what some of our students had to say. Melanie and Doug, they're one of our joint ventures here with us here at Mastermind Traders, and this is what one of their students put in. And Tom is one of our students as well. I'm so glad you shared Eric and Carl with us. One of the things that I love about Eric and Carl is they write promise and then they over-deliver. It's been a blast so far. I've had an awesome intraday trading today, on paper that is. Overall, up 18.3% from the start of the day. Had two wins, two trades, capture gains of 33% since the 26th. I'm up 41%, 8 wins, and only 1 loss. Good job, Tom. See what some other students had to say. Manash says, after our last session, I was able to successfully do my first Iron Condor just last week, which was an awesome feeling. That's one of the strategies that we teach. Thanks again for all the information. I greatly appreciate the vote of confidence in everything you guys have taught me. You have made a huge impact on my life. That's why we do this right here. Eric and Carl, I love you guys. Listen to what Charlotte says about us. You're so passionate about making sure all of your students are successful, and you work so hard to meet us where we are and to help us move forward. Thank you. Don says this, I closed the position out of Goldman Sachs today for $500 on my first, quote, on my own, unquote, trade. First trade. This make a total gain of $1,200 in 2 weeks of trading. Thanks, Eric and Carl. The course is almost paid off. I just want to make sure, I just wanted to share my latest trade that I made. On Netflix yesterday at 11:45 Mountain Standard Time, I sold 30 contracts and then bought them back today at 1:56 Mountain Standard Time and made over $2,000 in a little over 24 hours. Thanks, Eric and Carl. Thank you for putting these classes on. I have learned so much, and I look forward to learning more. I've always wanted to get into trading. I just didn't know how to go about it. And now that I've discovered options, I couldn't be happier. I opened my first live trading account with $4,000 in March. I have started following your trade alerts. Since that time, I have made about 6 trades. And now my account value is over $7,000. I have made 80.13% of my total account value. I'm not sure why you have decided to teach these classes, but I'm sure thankful that you have. Brandon. You can either be a victim or take control. It's totally up to you. Struggle is optional, and that's all there is to it. You might want to write that down. Struggle is optional. You don't have to struggle. Get the education, become the expert. Here we go. But you have to take the action. You have to pull the trigger. You have to place the trade. 3 months mentorship. Take action today. You know what? Let's keep going here. You know, I'm going to give you some bonuses here. Here we go. It's worth well more than $6,000. For the first 25 people, go to mastermindtraders.com right now and start to register. Go right now. The first 25 people to register, you're going to get an initial fast track call. That's an initial fast track call. That's a one-on-one call. Then you're going to get 3 private one-on-one coaching sessions. That's right. So what we want to do is get an initial fast track call to find out where do you want to go? Why do you want to learn how to trade? Where do you want to go? Yogi Berra said it best. If you don't know where you're going, you might end up someplace else. So let's find out where do you want to go, and let's find out the fastest way to get you there on that fast track call. Then throughout the 90 days, throughout the 3 months, throughout the 12 weeks, use the 3 private coaching sessions at your leisure. I mean, not to mention the weekly sessions that you're going to have. The value of just these bonuses is well over $1,000. Let's keep going here. First 25 people right now, it's only $799. That's for everything. But what I want to do is, I said something about a guarantee earlier. Keep moving forward. If you don't triple your tuition, and I'm going to say this right now, in the next 90 days, triple your tuition, we're going to give you your tuition back. If you don't make almost $3,000 in the next 90 days, I'm going to give your tuition back. Now, let me tell you when we're going to start those 90 days so you can take full advantage of this right now. We're going to start those 90 days starting February the 7th, 2017. That's when we're going to start it. Not today, starting then. So we're kind of giving you a little bonus there. If you don't make almost $3,000, that's triple your tuition of what you're going to give us today. We're going to give your tuition back. I mean, it just begs the question for me, and it's just my opinion here, but I got a couple of questions here. What do you got to gain and what do you got to lose? A little bit of time, a little bit of, I don't know. There are some things that I'm going to ask of you, because if you're going to make triple your tuition in the next 90 days, you're going to have to make some trades. So we're going to ask you to make 6 trades a month over those next 90 days. That's 6 trades a month. We're going to be with you every single Tuesday. Now you can do, all of the trades in the last month. I just want an average of 6 trades a month over those 90 days. Show us that you're participating fully, following the instructions. Show us that you're actually using the methodology here. This is the start of the year, right now. And in 2017, I guarantee you are going to blow a lot more than $799 on stuff that you absolutely do not need, and you've probably done it already. Probably getting tax money back from Uncle Sam. What are you going to do with that? Go look. So I know Super Bowl's coming up, and that TV is beautiful, and it's awesome, and the high definition, and the 4K, and the DirecTV, and all that other stuff. I get it. I get it. But invest in this so that you can have something. Live like no one else now so you can live like no one else later. I borrowed that. Invest in yourself now. It's the beginning of the year. Let's get out there and get it done right now, starting February the 7th. Moving forward here. Payment information. So if you little tight on strapped on cash, $400 down, $299.38 thereafter. That brings it up to $998. But here's the thing: is if you don't make almost $3,000 in the next 6 months, we're going to give you your tuition back anyway. But if you enroll today, you're going to save $200 off of your tuition to be able to pay in full. Clicking right on through. Program includes a little bit of review here. We're going to give you the videos. You will have access to those. You will have to be able to watch over and over and over and over again. Live weekly mentoring sessions. That's every single Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Closed Facebook group to make sure you're getting all your questions answered. The accountability, archive mentoring sessions, Let's not forget about the cookouts. We all got to eat. Small personalized classes and a step-by-step methodology, one step at a time. You heard Carl mention indicators earlier. Would it help you if we told you what indicators we're using? No problem. We're going to do that as well. It's all guaranteed. Moving forward here, go right now, right this very second. MastermindTraders.com and MastermindTraders.com. Carl, can you pull up the website so I can kind of walk them through how to enroll? We're getting some feedback here on how to enroll. A lot of people saying they're in, I'm in. Good job, guys. I'm in. Awesome. So what you want to do is you want to go to mastermindtraders.com, click on the Programs tab. Click right there. Carl, if you could just do that, and go right down to MMT Program. MMT, and you'll scroll down. You can read a little bit about it right there. Just scroll down to the bottom, and there's two options. Option one is to pay in full for $7.99. Guys, we have sold this for years for $2,000. I'm going to tell you that right now, and it's worth every penny of it. For years and years and years for $2,000. We just decided to sort of branch out on our own and start doing this on our own and offer the very best value that we could, and so that's it, $799, 90 days. Now, if you need a little bit of help, right there it is, $400 down just to get started, and we're going to go into the market and show you how to be able to take money out of the market and pay the system off. Enroll now, mastermindtraders.com. Strategies and techniques. Once again, covered calls. That's how you can rent your stock out. Recognizing chart patterns. If we could just kind of go back to it. Channeling stocks, vertical spreads, bull put spreads, bear call spreads, collars. Any one of these strategies out there could cost you several $1,000s to go out there and learn how to do. Technical analysis, and the list goes on and on. Again, clicking right on through, mastermindtraders.com. I'm getting some questions here. How much money do I really need to get started with? Carl, you want to sort of come in on this one, you too, Bill? I don't know that it really matters how much you start with. I think it really matters that you start. Because they're going to be sort of trading with, like you guys said earlier, with that monopoly money at first and sort of building the confidence at first. So what would you say is just a good price to kind of start with, or a good monetary price point to put on that?
I've seen people start with as little as $200. I would like to recommend somewhere around 500, but 200 can simply do it. And one of the techniques that people would start with is the channeling stock. There's stocks trading at 50 cents a share. Now, of course, the more you have, the better. Bill, you got any insight to that?
I like the idea of starting with zero. Practice. Learn the techniques first. If you were learning to fly a plane, it's not like we just toss you the keys and put you in the pilot seat. You've got to learn this first. So what I would say is exactly what Eric said is right. It's not about where you start. It's about that you start. I would encourage you to start with the education, get the information. One of the things that I've learned through my life in the pursuit of wealth and success is that when you are ready, the money will be there. One of the reasons that the money is not there is that you're not ready yet in many cases. So get the information first, learn that first, and then take the money that is appropriate for you to invest in the market.
Great way to look at it.
I couldn't agree more to both of you guys. That's exactly right. And the good thing about it is let's just say you start with I'm going to use a round number here, a $2,000 non-funded account, and you start to grow that. What you're going to start doing is you're going to stop spending money on yourself out there and stop buying crap you don't need and start investing in your future, and you're going to start taking some of that money and open up a brokerage account. Something that we also have here at Mastermind Traders is an affiliate program. So if you do recommend people to our program, we do help with that as well. So there's lots of things that we're always out here doing to help you as a student become better in the market and achieve those whys that you're looking for in your life. So if you have any other questions, by all means, please send us an email to support@mastermindtraders.com. Again, that's support@mastermindtraders.com. Bill, Carl, do you guys have anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
I would just encourage people to pull the trigger on this, guys. Do something today that your future self is going to thank you for. Don't let this be another year that you do not do something to put you in a better place a year from now. pull the trigger, learn this information. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. Make it happen. Go to mastermindtraders.com, get registered for the classes, and we'll see you in February.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Have any questions? Need some help? Please, we're here to help you. Send us an email to support@mastermindtraders.com. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.